first time in about 14 years, there's a new name written on the gold medal when it comes to World Athletics Championship. It is Sha'Carri Richardson. With a run of 10.65 seconds, she dethrones Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce to become the new world champion in the women's 100 meters in Budapest. Also, Africa for the first time made the podium as Leslie Tebogo with a run of 9.88 seconds, finished second to Noah Lyles as he also dethroned Fred Kelly, and he's also now the new world champion when it comes to the 100 meters. He did a time of 9.83 seconds. We'll also be talking about Ghana's representatives in Africa, where Dreams FC went away and secured a draw in their game against Milo FC, the Cancan, and also Mediama FC. They were at the Cape Coast Sports Stadium and they won 1-0 against Remo Stars. We are in a season of football politics. 38 days to the Ghana Football Association elective congress in Tamale. And aspirants appeared before the vetting committee earlier today to go through the vetting process. So it appears that we are inching closer and closer to the Ghana Football Association presidential and executive council elections. We'll also be talking about Premier League football. Chelsea suffered a 3-1 loss against West Ham United. Many said that opening encounter against Liverpool gave them an inkling of what to expect from Mauricio Pochettino's men this season. But that defeat against West Ham United, what are the storylines going to look like? Was that a deceptive performance witnessed against Liverpool? Liverpool themselves, with 10 men, were able to beat Bournemouth by 3-1 as well. We've got these and many more here on Sports Zone with me, Muftahu Nabila Abdullahi, sitting in for your regular host, Fentio Tahiru. This show is proudly brought to you by Syntex, and they ask a question. What is your preferred color of tank? Syntax has it. What guarantee do you want? Syntax had. What kind of inner layer do you want? Double, triple, quadruple, as many inner layers you want? Syntex has it. So remember, no matter your water needs, Syntex has it. Syntex, are strong, are tough. We have over 300 agents nationwide. So if you want to get in touch with any of them, you have to call the number and make your order. It is 0244 335 168, and you can also visit Syntex on social media, which is at Syntex Ghana, or shop online on www.syntexgh.com. Syntex, a strong, a tough, and also Hunters Real Apple. Introducing Hunters Real Apple Cider, a crisp and refreshing beverage that's perfect for any occasion. Made from hand-picked apples and crafted using traditional techniques. Hunter's Real Apple Cider is bursting with natural apple flavors and a hint of sweetness. Unlike other ciders, Hunter's Real Apple Cider is made from 100% pure apple juice with no added sugar or artificial flavors. Whether you're looking for a chilled, refreshing drink on a hot, sunny day or a warming beverage during the colder months, Hunter's Real Apple Cider is a perfect choice for you. Enjoy it on its own or pair it with your favorite meal for a delicious and satisfying experience. Experience the true taste of real apples in every sip with Hunter's Apple Cider. So you can get in touch with them on 026 235 1251. Hunter's Apple Cider, it has got real apples. Another quality product by Casa Preco. So as I mentioned earlier, 026 235 1251. You can get in touch for bulk purchases. We do a quick break. When we come back, the usual faces that you've always seen on the show, Daniel Crampton and Sichofe. Assume Philip are my guests. We are back in a jiffy. Sha'Carri Richardson, what a race, what a finish, a meeting record, 10.65 seconds. Wow, just wow, just wow. Daniel Crampton was so optimistic that this American was going to step up and redeem herself as one of the fastest female athletes that the world has ever seen. And she just answered that. And in the press conference just a couple of minutes ago, she said the media say trash about her. She just focused on running. Daniel.
I was right.
You were right.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I was right.
Predictions are not prophecies.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
But what did you see, actually?
I saw my baby girl.
Uh-huh.
Number one. I just knew it. So, a lot has been said about her mentality. And for me, I didn't think that was fair because, first of all, she has not been at a major competition before. Yeah. So, that was... If she hasn't been there, how can you make a statement about it? That's where I saw it from. When you look at her during the American Championship, she finished first. And for her, that was her biggest stage at the point. She finished first. Straight after that, she went on to a Diamond League meet where she met Sha'Carri Jackson and beat her. So she has proven that when she meets at least one of her competitors, she can win. When she meets the best of the best in America, she can win. And she was coming in here. And I just believe that, look, when you look at how she carries herself, she doesn't seem like the type of person that crumbles under pressure. She seems like the kind of person that relishes the pressure. There are two different types of people. Yeah. She's very outspoken, she's very confident, and I like people like that. You look at my track record, Cristiano Ronaldo. I like people who can talk the talk and then also walk the talk. Yeah. And she just struck me as somebody who could do that. And if you watched her times, you could just tell that with the right execution, she could easily be able to match up with Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce and also Sha'Carri Jackson. In fact, for me, the main competition was Sha'Carri Jackson. I was not really looking at Fraser-Pryce, and that's a bold call because this season, if you look at Fraser-Pryce's form, yes,
she's now
exactly.
36.
If you look at her form in every
season,
if you look at her form in every World Championship a year, she's there and thereabouts. Yeah. Maybe she may be a bit quiet, but in at least one or two races, she's giving you glimpses of the fact that she can go into the major competition and perform. But this season, it hasn't been so. And everybody was relying on her championship pedigree. Yeah. But to rely on that championship pedigree, you also need to be on form. And I just knew it wasn't going to happen. I was quite disappointed with the commentary because they were looking at the middle when the action was happening in lane 9. And I was wondering why they did that.
I'm not sure you would... blame the commentator that much because if you take a look at the last 10 meters, if Sha'Carri Jackson had taken a look at her shoulders, she probably would have finished harder. Sisho.
Yeah, I mean, that is credit to Richardson there because in the last 15 to 10 meters, she was, if you like, nowhere near necessarily. It was in that time that she was breaking so much stride and she was covering the grounds as you see there. She was so rapid in that time. So I thought the commentator was paying attention to who is leading, who is coming second, and all of a sudden, she's flying through.
Sha'Carri was flying.
She was flying through the lane 9 there, and it was. And in fact, at the time the race finished, if you're watching it live, you couldn't necessarily tell who was the winner. Even the guys working on the cameras couldn't tell because they went to Fraser-Pryce. Yeah. They just didn't know because it probably was that close because of the way she came out. Normally, when you see the athletes run, you can tell that the person leading and the person in second. It's close between them, so you can. But she was somewhere in fourth. Yeah. In the last 10 meters, she's in first, and it was that close. Even she didn't believe that she had won it. But as Daniel said, the talent had never been in doubt. How quick she can be was never in doubt. But she had to prove it. And it's on these stages that we can prove, or you can show the whole world what you've got. And she's delivered it.
But Daniel, did you see
fantastic style?
Did you see a meeting record coming? 10.65.
I didn't see a meeting record, but I knew that whoever would have won this race, and we had previewed this race before. In fact, I thought this was going to be much tougher than the men's race. So it was always going to take a very fast time to win this race because, as I said, Sha'Carri is on form, Sha'Carri is on form, and when Shelly-Ann Fraser is there, even Talu is also there. Who came fourth at the time of she did 10.8 and finished fourth. It just showed you how fast the race was. And for me, I'm happy. I'm happy that this it just doesn't put to bed the sort of negative talks that have been said about Sha'Carri. But she hasn't just only won the World Championship, she's also set a new championship record. So she's shown that at the most critical time, she's produced her best. And that is what top-class athletes are about. So
I honestly doubted if she could handle the pressure. But I think Danny had no doubt that she could. But when I even saw her come out, when her name was announced and she came out, I just thought she was a bit nervous. Yeah. And she didn't actually have a great start. Mm-hmm. And even in the semis, there was that about her. She didn't have
I think she's
start.
that athlete when she's on her strides, she flies.
Yeah. She's just darting through the air like that. And she didn't have a great start, but in the end, I thought. I mean, listen, that was as you see, there, keep an eye on the Jamaicans there. I mean, Jackson and Brad, they were there. They were. Look at
and this one, you can't even fault the production team because they are always going to look at the goal.
And right there, last 10 meters, she's just flying.
And see,
through.
Talu, I don't know, but I'm a bit sad for Talu.
Yeah, she was coming third.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, she was coming third all the time, she's fourth because the person who was fourth came first.
For me, Talu is like the Neymar of athletics.
Oh, God.
She's always thereabout.
Yeah. She never really does it.
She never really does it. In as much as like she's mostly like on top form. You can see. I think was it 2019 in Doha when she finished second in both the 200 and the 100. In that season, she was the fastest woman in the world going into the World Championships. And all of a sudden at the
and in
world
fact,
stage,
we had gone to Asaba for the African Athletics Championships before the World Championships.
Before the World Championships, she had blown everybody apart. But it's just one of those things. Again,
she did a better time in the semis than she did in the final.
Yes, yes. She did 10.79.
7.9 in the semis.
Yes.
Yeah, and
then in the final she did 10.
She still would have been fourth, so it doesn't matter.
She still would have been fourth. But the point then is, maybe during the heats, during the semis, that leads up to it. She's burning so much. Maybe she is burning so much.
And then even the time difference for you to regain and
the turnaround time is of course
not too good. But the men's 100 meters, well, Shelley Tebogo, 20 years, first Africa to medal at the World Championships. In fact, I have the privilege of speaking to this young man, and he's never looked like one under pressure. He's won the silver twice when it comes to under-20 World Championships. He's won the under-20 World Championships twice himself, and now a silver at a big stage. First African to do that. Probably you were thinking like maybe Akane Simbine or maybe Ferdinand Manyala was going to be there. Then all of a sudden, it's this 20-year-old boy stepping up to do it for us.
I'm glad he proved me wrong. I tipped him, and I tipped him to win the 200. I said it on game plan. I tipped him to win the 200. In the 100, because of his slow start, I always feel
he's coming out against another man who is a specialist in 200.
He's a specialist, but the last race, but the last race they did in the Diamond League. If you look at how they ended, that's how I feel like Tebogo with a little adjustment can.
He said he executed just 75% of his strategy.
Look, he's not there yet, and you mentioned it. It's the confidence for me. In Oregon, he wasn't that too good, and you can understand that was his first time on the world stage. Yeah. This is a 20-year-old who is coming into his second World Championships. Look, he has no business. He really had no business finishing on
doing what he did. Yeah.
But if you look at how he just carried himself, and I love athletes like that. You go through your first experience, he clearly has learned from it. He comes out into the second one. He looks confident. He looks very, very assured, and he goes out and he wins it. So when I'll say it here again, I'll be very surprised if he doesn't win the 200 because I'm seriously I'm using the same vim I said Sha'Carri will win the 100, and I'm saying Tebogo will win the 200. He's going to shock everybody.
No, he has the potential to do it, but I think the man who's just won the 100 meters,
Noah Lyles is actually a better 200 meter runner than 100 meters. Yeah.
And you wonder what this will do for his confidence as well. I mean, make no mistake, it will do a lot of confidence, so a lot of good to the confidence to Tebogo there. But I think Lyles as well has got something about him. Never really starts well, but when he breaks his stride, he's very rapid. You can't, and even in 100 meters, we saw it. Yeah. He didn't have a great start, as always. And
in fact, I actually thought Tebogo was going to win it, and Lyles came through.
Because I was like, oh, not again. And all of a sudden, I saw him picking up the paces, and in the last 20 meters or so, he was just... And that is why over 200 meters, it suits him, because even if he doesn't start very strongly, he's got a lot of room to make up for it, and he's got great stamina about him. He's got great, pace about him. So it's going to be between the two of them again for the 200 meters. It's going to be exciting. Yeah.
If you're talking about Noah Lyles, you're talking about Tebogo. There's also Janelle Hughes. He's also in
Aaron 19.
Aaron 19. Then we have our very own James Darcy, and then Joseph Paul.
No, for them we love them. But we love them. But this is national television, and I'll do myself a disservice if I come and hype them up. They are not on that. Look, you pick your battles according to your size. And I feel like if they make a semi-final, for me, that would be huge. And even if you listen to the communication from the Ghana Athletics, they are looking at the relays. They've not really spoken about individuals and these guys going far. They are looking at the relays. If you look at their times this year, if James Darcy had run, was it last year, I would have had more vim. I think the injury he's had has
and even last year, he was still a local athlete. So.
But he did 1979. 1979. And that was good. If he had continued on that trajectory by injuries, I could have said at least I would be confident he would make the final. But the form has dipped a bit, so we need to measure our expectations. So it is Tebogo, Laos, and then 90. We'll go again next time.
You'll not even bring Janelle Hughes into the picture?
No. We'll go again next year. Next year we'll be here. When Azamati and the boys are fit and they've gone through the proper training processes, there's no doubt that these guys can rub shoulders with the big boys.
No doubt.
So Ghana, fix your infrastructure. So that when we come here, we can also be talking about our athletes. Botswana are doing the same thing, and they are reaping benefits. South Africa are doing the same thing. Over here, you are taxing us betting. You are taxing us Spotify. You are just taxing.
You are taxing YouTube.
Use the money to fix the infrastructure.
I pay 30% tax.
Use the money to fix the infrastructure.
It's 30% tax. It's
because
crazy.
it will help all of us. Let's move on.
and we don't even have a standard approved track in the country.
There's no athletes who run anytime in Ghana.
That is recognized by World Athletics.
Because all the tracks in the country are not standard.
We are now waiting for the Stadia
All African Games.
All African Games facilities.
So which tracks are your athletes going to be training with on before the All African Games? Because it is when it's ready that we are sure that they would make sure that will be standard. Obviously, if it's not, it can't host the competition.
I don't think we are serious.
So we have a genuine
I don't think
problem.
we are serious.
We're not serious.
No, I don't think we are serious.
Why do you say so?
No, Muftar. 2 minutes. Viewers, listen to this logic. You are hosting a competition. Okay? And the people in charge of it are talking about medals that they want to win. Am I lying? During the briefing, didn't the minister talk about medals that you are going to win? But where are the training facilities? And in 2016, when you came into power, you laid down a plan that was going to cater for 10 resource centers across the country with 10 approved athletics tracks. So if you had gone through that process, by now you are telling us that we'll win medals, we can see the signs and say, oh, yes. But there's no track as we are talking about. So they are training at Atwater School, over. It's grass and sand. But they are saying on national television that they expect these athletes to win medals. Then if the time comes and God forbid, the athletes go and they don't make it, then they'll come back and turn it against the athletes, like what we've seen them do to the footballers. You don't have any grassroots system, you don't have any proper infrastructure, nothing. But when you go to Congress, you come and tell us that the footballers, you are giving them bonuses, and when they go, they don't do anything. So you are not doing your work. But you are going out telling us that they can achieve certain things when you know deep in your hearts that they can't achieve it. Then when they go and it backfires, then the athletes become the problem.
So they blame everyone.
They blame everybody to create the environment for athletes to develop their potentials. You have no business putting the pressure on them to win. And this is the thing, we're talking about World Athletic Championship, where it doesn't matter where you come from. If you are good, you are there.
You're good.
And we are here talking about Talu. We are here talking about all these
Tebogo, Ferdinand Manyala,
all of them.
There's this guy from Liberia, Matadi.
All of them are doing very well for their countries, right? And they're delivering. It's not as if this is not football where somebody will tell us that you're only interested in talking about the Premier League or La Liga. Talk about the Ghana Premier League. No, this is the World Athletic Championship. If we were good enough, our athletes would have been the center of discussion. But the truth of the matter is, we've not delivered. We're talking about Africans. We're talking about people on the same continent who have had the opportunity to go there and deliver some very fine numbers and times.
In fact, Botswana hosted the Grand Prix recently. Just recently. Then there was Kenya also hosting the World Athletics Continental Gold Tour. Just recently. That was in May. What can we host?
All African Games, but our facilities are not ready.
Nigeria is going to be hosting athletics series event in September. Next month.
Even the stadia is not ready. Me until I see it. No, it's true. Every time Ghana 2.
Anyway, the mascot is ready, so there's progress.
Which are the mascots? Is it the one that's like...
Yeah, it's ready for this.
Charlie, I've never in my life seen a dark-skinned Humpty Dumpty.
It it has given up. Oh. The mascot now
he has surrendered.
I think we can do football now.
Right, let's do football.
Let's do football. And I would like us to talk briefly about Dreams FC, the Mediama. Then we'll talk about Grayson. Is it Greenwood? Yeah. Mason Greenwood. Right. 7 years he started at Manchester United, and all of a sudden that journey has come to an end. But Daniel, talk to me. Mediama were able to win against Remo Stars 1-0. Dreams FC got a draw. Should we be hopeful?
I'll start with Mediama. I feel they should have got a bigger margin victory. 1-0 is not safe enough for the continent, on this continent, because look, if you go away to Nigeria, if you follow Remo Stars, they are not a traditional club, but they've been able to garner support, and they have the facilities, and they have that, what's the word? Like, it's like this new school vibe about them, and they just have that support, and the Nigerians believe that they can be the club to take their football to the next level. So that vibe about them is something that we need to watch. And I would have loved that Mediama would have gone into that second leg having at least a 2 or 3 goal margin. But that is done. It's out of the way. Now we focus on what is ahead of us. And what I loved about the post-match press conference was that Ivan Zadote seemed quite confident. He said, why not? Why can't they go there and get the needed results? He said they don't even need to win. They can go out there, get a draw, and they'll qualify. But again, in saying that, I don't want them to focus on going there and getting a draw. Because yes, this wasn't club football, but if you remember, the Black Galaxies took a 2-0 lead over here, went to Nigeria, went to lose it, and it ended into penalties. Yeah. We don't want anything like that. And we know that our teams are not on that level yet where they can rub shoulders with the best of the best. So make it as safe as possible for yourself. And go out there. This is very unlike my philosophy, but what I watched from Cape Coast, I feel like if we go into that second leg, and because this is a Ghanaian team, if we go into that second leg against Remo Stars, we can match them at least in the first half. If you can get that away goal, then you defend it. But don't start with don't start on the back foot and allow the pressure in there. Because once Remo Stars scores, if they take a 1-0 lead, you'll be forced to open up, and then that can worry you.
Sicho, you have commentated on both Dreams and Mediama SC. 1-0 slim advantage. Dreams FC, they are here at the Accra Sports Stadium against Milo FC. Should we be more hopeful about what these two teams can deliver?
Well, yeah, because the game is still there to be won. And once the game is still there to be won, you are hopeful that the side that is close to you gets the job done. Listen, if Mediama go away from home, it's going to be still a difficult crack, and not to crack. Because even at home, I mean, let's flip it. If Mediama went away from home and got a 1-0 defeat and we're coming to Ghana, we would be hopeful that, that's a decent scoreline away from home. So when they get home, they can get the job done. Yeah. Their opponents are going to be thinking exactly the same. They'll be thinking, okay, the game is still there to be won. We will have the home advantage, probably have their fans behind them. So I think the odds are slightly not in favor of Mediama. And as Danny rightly said, if they had a superior goal difference or a clearer goal advantage or a more numerical number in goal advantage, that perhaps could have set a better tone. But with 1-0, nobody is safe. But the point then is, the game is there for anyone to win. So Mediama have got a chance. For Dreams FC, it's a magnificent story for them. For a club that is just about 15 years old, won their first major trophy only a couple of months ago. They've gone into Africa. In their first game, wasn't a disaster. They've picked a very positive result, a 1-1 draw. They can come home and then focus on completing the job. But the point is, they don't have the experience on the continent. So you don't even know if, under this pressure, they will crash or they will be able to deal with it. I hope they can. And I think they will be. But we'll see how it all unfolds, and we wish them all the best.
Wishing them all the best. It means that Dreams FC, I said one thing. They've been dreaming for a long time. Now wake up. This is your time to wake up. Announce yourself on the continental level. And definitely we'll be at the Accra Sports Stadium.
Probably should change their name to Reality FC now. They're doing some coming to reality now.
This show is very interactive, and I'm already getting messages. We are here to start talking about Mason Greenwood, but the message is from there. Someone says, Alberta in Adenkan says that I feel like Man United have made a mistake by letting Greenwood go, such a talented player. That is Alberta from Adenta sending us that message. And also, this one says that, good evening to you guys on Sports Zone. You guys are doing a very difficult job, but sounds very easy when listening to you guys. Analyzing the game and sharing thought to the layman's understanding is not a joke. Keep up the good work. Jupiter, the general from Spinters. Jupiter, thank you very much. We appreciate your kind words. And also this one says that it's from Castro Steven. He said, good evening, Sports Zone. Yesterday was just one of those days. Chelsea would definitely bounce back. My regards to all Chelsea fans. Any Chelsea fan here?
No.
I don't know my face.
Yeah, Arsenal fan.
The blue I'm wearing is because of this one.
Are you Arsenal fan?
I'm not an Arsenal fan.
Are you Man United fan?
I'm a Accra House of Folk and a Black Stars fan.
I'm an Al Nassr fan. Tomorrow we play the Asian Champions League. Al Shabab of Dubai.
You play Al Shabab of Dubai.
Oh yeah, of Dubai.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But you play Al Taoun, no?
No, so we've lost our first 2 games. Okay. And that'll be the beauty of the story this season.
How?
We've lost our first 2 games, but we'll win the league in the end. Sue.
This true. Let me do some more messages there. I go to Karim right now. This one, good evening. I am Nana K from La Paz. You guys are wasting too much time on athletics. Can you talk around foreign football now? Most of us are interested in this.
When you talk local football, when you talk foreign football, they'll say you talk too much foreign. When you talk local, they'll say you talk local.
What do you want?
Now, athletics is the hottest thing on when you talk about football, you talk too much.
This is in the air. Until Sunday, I think athletics is going to be the most dominant thing because the World Athletics Championships, the biggest athletics competition is happening.
The World Cup was that.
Yeah, it is dominating the airwaves all over.
It's 100 meters.
Yeah.
What do you want to
No, you see, the thing is that, no, to be honest, don't worry, Chelsea will lose more, so there'll be more to talk about. It's not, but the athletics is just this week, so you relax.
It's quite unfortunate Fencio is not here to defend his Chelsea. So, Chelsea, if they are taking your club to the cleaners, I can't defend it. I'm just here. Those of who say we paid £150 million for Caicedo. Someone said that a football fan who hasn't eaten all day will go to a match venue and say we paid £150 million for Caicedo. You are who?
Oh, goodness.
And this one, I'm going to Karim pretty quick, but let's do this one. Good evening, Sports Zone. You are the best station. I'm always watching you guys, doing a great job. I am Sanya Lutubaka from Kolfo. My greetings to my brother, Fenty Tahiru. He's in bit of... that's your brother. Hey! They're watching your team.
On that note, go to him.
On that note, Karim,
Sweet Karim.
take over. Your family members are working
Karim
from
has
home.
told his family that he's coming on TV.
So they should watch. What was the message you sent before you came on the TV?
Oh, no, I have not sent any message.
You didn't tell your mother you're coming on TV?
Look at the face of a liar.
So
you told them you are coming on TV. You told them.
So what do we have coming up? I see Akologo. Who is Akologo?
That's why I'm here.
So let's go. Take over, Karim.
I'll tell you who Akologo is.
So let's go.
This is the first Sports Zone Ghanaian players aboard the XI for the season. And as you are saying, Akologo is a surprising name there. Like, who is this? You've never heard of his name. David Akologo is a 25-year-old goalkeeper who plays for Aurora in the Bolivian League. Aurora, if you just take out, you bring an S, it becomes Aurora.
like the Accra has yes. Team.
So over the weekend, they played against Athletic Palmaflow, and he kept his 3rd clean sheet in 3 games. So basically, the thing is that we don't have a goalkeeper. Manaf Omar, he was playing for UPIN, but when Chelsea loaned out Slonina to them, they've decided to forget of him and bring in Slonina. And we don't have Lawrence Atizigi, didn't play this weekend. Razak Abolora, the same. So we tend to Akologo for this weekend. So again, Emmanuel in team, he plays for Caen. They won 2-0 against Conano in the French League 2. He completed 6 out of the 7 duels he contested in that game and was the most fouled player. Then Samson Beidou, 19-year-old for Red Bull Salzburg. They won 5-1 at Hartburg, and he was the most accurate passer of the ball there. He completed 49 of the 52 passes he attempted. And also won the ball possession 11 times. Then Nicolas Opoku, he played for Amiens. They won 2-1 against Bastia, and he won 7 duels in that game. Then we go to Yaya Bob. It's a surprise pick there. But if you are monitoring his performance for Columbus Crew over the last 10 games and more, he's been playing as a left wing back. So just drafting him into the left back position looks quite easy, because playing as a left wing back and a left back, there's no so much difference there. So he assisted Columbus Crew their first goal in the 3-0 win over FC Cincinnati. Then we come to Michael Bedu, his side Elfsborg. They won 2-0 against Onjalbi in the Swedish league. He scored the first goal and assisted the second, and all his 2 shots he attempted in that game were on target. Then Baba Idrisu, his side Almeria, they lost 3-1 to Real Madrid, but he was decent in that game, attempted a very long shot from distance, but it was off target.
So wait, can you still give us those? You see, when you go...
The highlight of the guy's game, he attempted a long shot.
A long shot. Don't be about argument.
It's a beer bar argument, please. That's why I'm coming to give you that he's made 7 more recoveries. Is I want a beer bar argument.
You should start with that one. What is he made a long shot that was on target?
Yes.
Challenge yourself.
So let's go. Take over. Let's go.
Okay, then I bring you to Iñaki Williams. He, like spatial awareness, forced himself into between the last post, scored the first goal when Athletic Bilbao, they won 2-0 at Osasuna and created 3 chances in that game. Then Mohamed Kudus, he assisted Ajax's equalizer against Excelsior on Saturday or Sunday with a very delightful cross. In that game, he also completed the most dribbles, that's 5, then created the most chances, 3. Then Osman Bukhari, he scored for Red Star Belgrade in their thumping win over Spartak Subotica. Then Antoine Semenyo, he got his first goal of the season against Liverpool when Bournemouth lost 3-1. He completed the most dribbles in that game.
Why Kudus in behind Semenyo?
Sometimes I needed to explain this before.
Because in the first half of that game...
Can I explain? Like, let me...
Okay, go on.
Rational. Like, sometimes it's not mostly about the right positioning. He's versatile. Like, looking at the players we have, we needed to bring the best performance. If you are bringing Kudus here, it means that you are taking out Iñaki Williams.
Iñaki could have played 4-4-2 alongside Semenyo. The reason is, Kudus in that first half, where he played in this position, the numbers you just spoke about, he didn't deliver them. It was when in the second half, the coach...
You have a disciple of Deserbi seated here. You want to do analysis.
Let's go. When the coach shifted him to the right-hand side...
Yes, but he started the game here.
And he was poor in that first half. So based on that position, he wouldn't have been in this team. When he shifted to the right-hand side of the game...
That's how he delivered.
Then he produced the dribbles you spoke about, he produced the assists you spoke about, and then all the goodies you said. So if you put him in behind the striker, he doesn't get the numbers you spoke
Makes
about.
sense, but that's what I'm saying. It's not largely about the positioning. It's about bringing the best players, like...
And trying to fit.
So there will be a day there will be so many attackers, Kudus have to play them.
And also, a day would come, Muftar will play number 9, Dani will play number 7.
There will be a day, if you're not careful, there will be a day there will be so many good attackers. Jordan, you have to play as a right back.
He can do it. He can do
definitely, over the weekend, there was really a lot of decisions to be made with the attackers. A lot of scorers and assists over the weekend.
So what influenced your decision to drop Sam?
Yeah, he's the coach.
Coach Sha'Carri.
Yes, I'm the coach.
We think you are the only person.
It's a true reflection.
You think you are the only person who has your brother watching there. I have my brother also watching. He has sent me a message. Bao Mugi sent me a message from Tamale. You see, you are the other one. Who is watching you?
I'm not sure a lot of people. I'm not sure who is, but a lot of people are watching.
Is your mama watching, your girlfriend, or your...
My best friend is watching and he has sent a message that I have to read.
Please do.
So this is my best friend in the whole world.
Please go on.
His name is Coach Christopher Nimley.
Oh!
He says, 13 years ago today, I married the most beautiful woman on earth. I'm honored she decided to spend the rest of her life with me. Happy anniversary, Mrs. Susan Obribia Nimley. My love for you is endless. Thank you for giving me 3 beautiful girls, Davida, Babette, and Odilia. I love you, sweetheart. God bless you. For my best friend, Coach Christopher Nimley.
Let's clap for
Happy birthday to you. Happy anniversary. It's anniversary. Yeah.
He's a proper lover boy.
No.
I thought he was only good with coaching. I never knew he was also a lover boy. Now let's move on. Talk some transfer news. Media reports have been made that Enes Nuama is moving to Lyon. A good move. 25 million euros. Good move, Sicho.
The French league is a place where talents can develop. We've seen it. We've seen several talents go there to develop. It doesn't necessarily matter the age. It's about getting into the right environments, under the right coach, believing in your ability, and then getting the job done. So I think Nuama has shown over last season that he's a promising talent. I'm not sure what the plan is for him at Lyon, because sometimes some of these big clubs, what they do is they spot the potential early, they bring you in, and they try to make more money off you, so they can loan you out, they can keep you, and I just hope that he's going to a club where he's going to develop. And the only way a footballer develops is playing consistently. It doesn't matter where he plays. At his age, even if he stays at Norgeland and he plays a lot of games, it's better for his development than moving to Lyon and not playing at all. So I just hope that once he goes there, he plays as well. But Lyon have lost a couple of players, which means maybe Nuama gets a lot of games to play. But in France, Lyon is a club that can also get you to crumble under pressure because there are lots of demands from their fans. It's such a huge club. Yeah. They've not done well in recent years, so many people forget how big they are. But I don't doubt his quality. I don't doubt his talent. I just hope that he can develop it a lot more in the French League.
Okay, let's move to England. Talk Mason Greenwood.
Yeah.
A young man.
Interesting.
So talented, made many mistakes. People actually thought that he was going to be given an opportunity to continue his career at Old Trafford. Yeah. All of a sudden, Man U says it is better he continues his career outside Old Trafford. Sicho, did you see this coming?
Well, I imagined it. I did imagine it. And listen, personally, I don't think that Man United are letting Greenwood go because they want to let him go. They're letting him go because people, fans, pundits are saying that it would be injustice to other people to have Man United get the boy to wear arguably the biggest sports brand's jersey again because of the alleged
so Man United are looking at the image,
which is crucial as well, because for a big brand as Man United, you're not only thinking about what happens on the pitch. You're looking at your relationship with sponsors. You're looking at your relationship with fans. You're looking at the general perception about the club out there. So sometimes, as much as the club might have wanted to keep him, they tested the waters. And United have done a great PR job. They just tested the waters a couple of days ago to see what the reactions would be.
Having media saying that he's going to be reinstated and all that.
And the outbursts from that, they tell United that no way, it's not going to work. Because what that happens is, if they reinstate Mason Greenwood and even play at Old Trafford, there are a lot of sections of that crowd that are going to be booing Greenwood. It's not going to affect Greenwood. It's going to affect the entire team. So you want to bring in a player who might not be welcomed by a lot of the fans, even on your home grounds. What about the away grounds? When you go to Anfield, when you go to the Bridge, when you go to the Etihad, when you go to
the London Stadium,
when you go to these places or in European nights, it has a way of maybe affecting the entire team. But this is the problem I have. When Man United released the statement, and even in Greenwood's statement, United said that they were privy to information.
Because they conducted a parallel investigation.
Yes, they were privy to information that concluded that Greenwood didn't do what people thought he did.
Yes.
So, and they said that they had the opportunity of examining a longer version of the tape people heard on social media and concluded that the boy didn't do what people think he did on social media. So my thinking is, if he didn't do what people think he did, why sack him? Because there's a better way of getting the findings of that investigation out. If the two parties can agree that everybody accuses me of being a criminal, but you did your investigation and realized I wasn't a criminal, so publish this investigation for people to know exactly what happened if I'm innocent, so they can walk away. But I might be wrong, but I'm just thinking that maybe Greenwood did what he did, or he did what everybody thinks he did. But the club is walking away from Greenwood, painting the picture of having done a good job on the boy, cleaning his image a little bit, so that when he moves from Old Trafford, another team can take him on the basis of the fact that by United's investigations, the boy didn't do what many people thought he did.
Daniel, the court of public opinion would always influence the decision of managers. And was this one of those?
Especially in situations like this. And that's the that's the unfortunate thing about this, because if you are taking the Man United statement into consideration, the fact that they've said the boy is innocent.
And in fact, it's not just Man U that is saying it. The investigations cleared him. Man U also conducted a parallel investigation and they said he was innocent.
So the court didn't clear him. The case was discontinued. Yeah. That is different from being cleared. So discontinued, maybe two parties came together and just decided that they will not further proceed with the case.
But that means he's not guilty or anything.
Because if there's no conclusion, you're not guilty.
Yes. And that's why I think, for me, that's where the sad part of this is, because I would have preferred he stayed in court and then he will be cleared. Because if he had been cleared in court like Mendy, then everybody turns away from it. Clearly, this guy is innocent. But when you leave it like that, and now his club, which has an interest in the matter, conducts its own, you can tell why people are not too impressed with the investigation. But I think Man United have done the right thing. Yeah. Even though they think he's innocent, this is not the sort of situation you want to invite on yourself. Let him go. United is not the only club in the world. Let him go somewhere else. Let him play his football. The good thing about it is that he still remains a footballer. The incident, the two people who
he's now a father.
Are together now. They have a child. So happy on the family side. Let him play his football, but away from United just to stop all this noise.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and talk Premier League football, where many of you are very interested in. We are back in the GFA. We are back from the break. This is Sports Zone with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullahi. Show proudly brought to you by Hunters and Syntex. We're going to talk about Premier League football now, and we'll start from Danny's.
You said the wrong team. Danny's what?
It's okay. Someone said we should sing All We Want Is Caicedo.
You don't have time. You can't sing that song.
Can't sing that song, Charlie.
You don't have time. You don't have time.
But that was a £150 million challenge that caused a penalty.
Well, all right. So on Chelsea, listen. And last week we were here and we said it, that I wasn't going to give the two teams the credit I didn't think they deserved. I said it, that for Liverpool and for Chelsea on that day, both teams lacked so much quality in the final third, and we saw similarities between Chelsea's attacking play in the game against Liverpool, in the game against West Ham as well. But when they get into the final third, there isn't enough creativity, there isn't enough,
decision making,
chances being
quite
creative, decision making, shots on target, and many of those things. And everybody knew before the game that was at West Ham we're going to play. Everybody knows. And even to make it even more difficult now to play against West Ham, they've got one of the best crossers of the ball in James Ward-Prowse. Yeah. So every set piece is probably a chance. Mm-hmm. And West Ham have got some of the biggest frames in the Premier League. Yep. Zuma, Agad, Kufal, Soucek, Antonio, Paquetá. They've got very good frames, so they can really go at you when they're attacking set pieces. And a second or minutes before the first goal was scored, Ward-Prowse hits a very good corner kick, and Chelsea almost did not defend it well. The next one that came was a goal. And Chelsea never really created the chances to put, Areola under any pressure or whatsoever. But there were moments they could have taken that penalty. Listen, Chukwuemeka's goal was brilliant. The way he shifted the ball in one single movement to his left and then dragged it back to his right to create the opening was fascinating. But I thought throughout the whole game, Chelsea didn't do enough. Then they got a penalty from nothing really. Sterling darting down the middle, he was brought down by Soucek, and there was a penalty. Then the 120 million man missed it, and Enzo Fernandez, it was a poor kick by his standards. Fast forward, the 150 million man concedes a penalty, Caicedo. But the bottom line is, Chelsea as a team will still need some gelling.
So now it is the prices that are making the mistakes.
Can put it that way. But Chelsea will need gelling because Enzo has yet to develop any partnership with Caicedo. There's Lavia who has come through. There's Kunku, the manager was planning so much of his attack around, and he's injured. So even though they spent all these monies, you're still looking at a team that is so short of certain qualities that will take them there. Look around Chelsea's attack. Who can you point at and say he guarantees goals? Not Sterling, not Madueke, not Jackson, not Mikhailo Mudryk, not Chukwuemeka, who even got the goal. So all of a sudden, Chelsea might have to go back into the market to fix that.
And let me take Daniel on Manchester United. It appears Manchester United, in fact, you have always had your takes on everything House and in terms of his decisions, in terms of the signings he's always doing. Based on what you've witnessed so far, what is wrong with Manchester United?
And what is wrong with Manchester United is what I said before the season started. It's what I said last week, and it is what
I'm going to say now.
I'm going to say now what I'll say next week, what I'll say the week after that. Ten Hag is stubborn, and I understand. When you've done something for a long time and it's worked for you, you believe that is the right way. But there are some leagues that just have some certain principles, and you need to adapt to it. We saw Pep Guardiola in his first season with Manchester City. He thought he could do without some certain essential Premier League principles. Went against the finished third. Following season, he adapted. He's won and he's still winning. How Manchester United defense has to change. The shape with that 4-1-4-1, leaving Casemiro alone, having 2 8s or 2 10s in Mount and Bruno, who apply almost zero pressure, is counterproductive. If you are shaping up like that, then it means that you're a team that applies a lot of pressure on the ball, wins back possession, and has the ability to control possession. When I say control possession, I'm not just talking about having possession numbers over 60%. But when you're able to control possession, you decide how you want the game to go. When you are defending, it's because you've ceded possession and you know how you are defending. When you are attacking or you want to keep the ball, you know exactly what you are doing with the ball. And we've seen how counterproductive this Onana thing is. Because Onana, yes, there's an aspect of his game where in transition he's really good. He has that ability to find the pass. But that won't happen every time. Most often, it is when he has the ball in the build-up phase and he's trying to build up from the back with his defenders. When the ball leaves him, it's always coming back. Because Casemiro is not comfortable, Mount is not comfortable, Bruno is not comfortable, Wan-Bissaka is not comfortable. So it's a bit counterproductive. And United are a bit just too easy to create a chance against. And it's just going to continue to leave them open and cause a lot of chance. What we are seeing in the first 2 games is nothing different from what we saw last season.